Good evening, and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Around the Table. It's Friday night, and you know what that means? That means that I have me a super special guest that's going to be coming on the show with me tonight. But would you go ahead and share this out? Would you go ahead and like? We want to bring our audience in tonight because I am telling you, excitement is in the air. You know, I always come on Friday nights souped up and ready to go. And I hope that you have your drink. I have mine tonight. And guess what? I got me a special gift. Look at this bling cup. And inside of it, I have me green juice. Green juice tonight. So let me know in the audience what you are drinking tonight. Whatever is your choice of beverage, go at it. But tonight, like every Friday night, I try to bring you surprises. And tonight, I promise you, I won't disappoint you on Around the Table. So come on in, pull up your chair, sit with me for the next 40 minutes as I speak to this fantabulous guest. So, without any further delay, I'm going to bring her up with me to the stage. And here she is. Hi, Ardenae.
Hi, Dr. Alicia. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic, fantabulous, and excited because you are here. You are here finally.
Thank you so much. It is an honor and a privilege to be on this around the table.
I've been waiting, and the day is finally here. The first thing that I'm going to ask you to do, because if you notice, I didn't ask you for a bio because I don't do bios. I believe that my guests know themselves better than a piece of paper that I'm going to read. So I'm going to ask you, could you just tell our audience tonight a little bit about you and who you are?
Absolutely. So it's your girl, Arne Garner, and I'm a personal development trainer called to help women write their transformational life stories, either in a book and an anthology. I'm also the founder of the Resilient Black Women's Community that's on Clubhouse, and I'm the executive producer of the Stand Up Authors Revival and Awards Conference that happens every year in Charlotte, North Carolina. But if you want to remember one thing about me, know that I am an encourager, and I may use my platforms to encourage you through counseling, coaching, or actually creating stages.
Awesome. That's why I I titled you entrepreneur because I was not going to choose one thing and say that that's who you were. I put that you are an entrepreneur. And this is a show for authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, small business owners. And so we love to have when we can have these distinguished people come on. And this is my distinguished guest this evening. Listen, let's get started. Let's get started with this conversation that I have planned for you tonight. The first thing is we are going to be talking about your upcoming event in October. I want to start there. So, if you would tell us about your event that is coming up in October.
Well, thank you, Dr. Alicia. So, the Stand Up Authors Revival is a conference. It's a 3 day personal development conference where we're focused on catering to visionary leaders, entrepreneurs, coaches, and speakers. And it's a place where you come to get rejuvenated, revived, restored, and renewed so that you can then go back into your community and do what God has called you to do. And you may say, Ardenae, well, how do I do that? So each day is themed around a specific topic. So, like day one is around mental health and helping you release those limitations. Day two is about technical skills. So, maybe you're going to learn about filmmaking, maybe you'll learn about publishing, maybe you'll learn how to make sales in your business. And then we celebrate on day two in the evening with a formal black tie award ceremony. And then our third day is about implementation. So we don't want you to just come and be fed and have all these nice trinkets in a bag and then put it away on the shelf. We want you to implement, actually start taking action before you leave the conference. I am my sister's keeper. And so we have curated a space where you don't leave unless you willfully just decide that you don't want to take action. We won't
Mhm.
allow you to leave without taking action because it's built into our activities. And so on day 3 of this year, we actually have a Power Moves pitch contest. And so someone will be walking away with a $1,000 cash prize for their business idea, book concept, or creativity. So that's what I mean by implementation. Like, you get feedback real time. We're doing
Yes.
tests, and we're doing workshops where you take action in the moment.
That is awesome. That's what I call when you say implement, to do fast moves. You do it right away. You take care of it. And listen, as the executive producer, I know that it takes a lot of work to do and put something like this together. So my question for you is, how far do you have to plan in advance to pull something like this off? How far do you plan?
Jesus, help us, please. So every year I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball, because if I'm honest, Dr. Alicia, I fight that I need to do this. So, like, this author's revival is one of my divine assignments. It's not optional. God has
Yes.
called me to Charlotte. I live in Syracuse, New York. So God has called me to a region that I don't reside in to do a 3-day conference. And when you say how long does it take me, it takes me no less than a solid 9 months. And the first 3 of those months, well, really, it takes 12 months, but the first 3 months I'm fighting. I'm like, I don't want to do it. Can it be virtual? Lord, why me? Can somebody else? And that's honest to God truth. Like, I fight it. And God is like, daughter, you go through this every single year. You know you're going to do it. So why waste?
Stop.
Just stop. So it does take about 9 months.
9. But
Because,
listen, 9 months, that's so key to birth a baby.
yes,
9 months, the number 9. Listen, I'm a number girl, and I happen to be born in September, and September is the 9th month. So I understand about you birthing something and the pressure that it will take, because each trimester there's growth towards what it is that you're getting ready to make happen.
that's true. That's true. And the 9 months, there's the planning, there's the networking, there's the marketing, there's the sales. And I'm a solopreneur, so I don't have a full team. I have people that will do, like, components, elements of it, maybe
Uh-huh.
social media management. I have somebody to do the graphic designs. And then on site, I have somebody to do the decorating. But it's a process,
It
baby.
is. It
It's
is. I truly understand. I spent a lot of my life. I was married to a pastor, and I did 10 years of conferences. And so I understand, as a woman of God, what it takes to put together a conference. Not only that, I was very intricate in a major conference here in Southern California, where there were 8,000 women that would come to Palm Springs every year for 5 years. So I understand tremendously. And I'm saying that because people do not know, when you don't have a full team, what it takes to produce something. Uh, right now, I'm a virtual girl right now because I need that other stuff. So this is the third year that you're doing this. And so you have not said no to God. You're doing the assignment that God has given you. So what are your personal expectations this year from stand up?
So this year, the Lord said that this revival has to be a blessing. Now, yes, we people come and they're transformed, but He said, I need you to make it a blessing for the people. And what that means is we've added some new elements. So this is the first time we're doing the Power Moves pitch contest. We're blessing someone with a $1,000 seed to sow into their vision and their business. So that's one way we're being a blessing. The second way that we're being a blessing is we are honoring a local nonprofit leader with a grant, or a monetary award for the work that they do. That is new for us. And so we're introducing these new monetary awards,
Hmm. Go ahead.
award ceremony. And we're also introducing recognizing men this year. So many of the entrepreneurs I know, they have men that are standing in their corners that make it easy for them to do what God has called them to do. And in this season, we're going to recognize them. Now, most of the men don't ask for this recognition, but the
Mhm.
Lord said, I want you to recognize the men, because even
Wow.
husband, he doesn't make it possible, but he makes it easy and effortless for me to do what thus said the Lord. And so this year we're recognizing men intentionally, and we've also added a power couple component to it so that we can recognize power
Wow.
couples. And that's how we're going to be a blessing. God said, I need you to be a blessing. I need you to be a blessing. And so those are the four things that we're doing this year that are new to the Stand Up Authors.
Man, this is so awesome. My intentions was really to come this year, but it fell on the same time of my conference for my network that I'm going to be in Destin, Florida. And so I am going to watch next year's dates and I'm going to carve them out and I'm going to be present. Listen, the word revival means to restore, to renew, to refresh. So when you bring these people here, there, that is your intention of how they should leave, correct?
Absolutely. It's without saying they're coming to get renewed, restored, and
Uh-huh.
coming to reclaim their power. So I think of it as CPR. So this is what God gave me last year. So the author's revival is a place where the visionary leaders will come to get CPR. The C represents those that are called, but they need community in order to operate in their gifts. So they're coming for the community. The
Okay.
P represents those that feel like they're pulled in multiple directions. Maybe they're caregivers, maybe they're employees, maybe they, whatever the case may be, and they're coming to get their purpose. They're coming to connect with their purpose. And then the R is for the runners. They know what their assignment is. They know what their calling and their gift is, and they are running away, and they're really coming to reclaim their power so that they can do what thus said the Lord. So we're providing CPR at the Authors Revival.
I love it. You're bringing life back into those things that are dormant and laying I love it. That is so awesome. So I just want to go into a little bit about what is Power Moves.
Power moves. So I want to give credit where credit is due. And so I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, but she came out with a book last year and it was called Power Move. And I read that book from cover to cover. I even went on her first tour that she had, the book tour in Brooklyn. And for me, Power Moves is about stepping in your calling boldly, with faith, with confidence, and taking action, whether it's doing it afraid, whether you are doing something you've never done before, but it's taking the power that is placed within you, operating boldly, courageously, and doing what you're called to do. It is stepping in your vision, it is producing whatever you're supposed to do, and it's doing it afraid. But it's taking
Wow.
every single day. Like, take a power move, just one thing that's going to lead you closer to that which God is calling you to do.
So, Ardene, do you feel that you have stepped into that place in your life?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very intentional. Once I realized that what God is asking me to do, like, it's not optional for me. Yes, I'm obedient, but He does give us our personal choice. But because I realized the magnitude of the responsibility and how I'm so grateful to God for all the things that He's done for me. I my the most influential words in my life is God said. And so when God tells me to do something, I do it. Even if I'm whining, I'm kicking, I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm fussing, even if I'm not going to do it, I don't have to do it, still do it. He knows how to deal with his daughter because
Yes.
God that much. I really, really owe God that much. So I'm
Amen. Yeah, we are daddy's little girls. And so when he tells us what to do, we may buck and fuss, but in the end, because very honestly, I had been really struggling because I was not able to broadcast the way I wanted to. And I was like, I'm not doing this show anymore. I've been doing it for 8 years. It's enough. And now I'm only on YouTube and I'm just a fussing. And listen, he said, shut up.
Won't he say it?
He said, shut up. And I said, okay. He says, keep going because you're not doing the show for yourself. You're
Right.
doing it because there are people out there that you're bringing value to. And I said, okay, God, I hear you. And here we are. So listen, how long have you really been an entrepreneur? Living this entrepreneur life. Let's put it that way.
It will be 21 years in November. So I started in 2004.
Uh-huh.
And I'll share this story. It's public information. I wrote about it in the book. But initially, I created a business to pursue a stripper. That's the honest, the goodness, truth. Met a stripper in Atlanta, Georgia, and I said I want him to come to Syracuse, New York, to perform because I had some intentions, and I formed a business and did it my first event in 45 days.
Mhm.
From conception to execution, it was 45 days. Business mission, registered at the county's office, created my own flyers, tickets, got the venue, volunteers, 45 days flat. And I did that in 2012, November 2004.
Yes. Your first business was to pursue a stripper.
That was
Well,
my motivation. And
I
then,
have heard a lot of stories, Adene, but this one, I am putting it in the books. Okay. This one is very, very unique. I'm telling you, but God will use the foolish
he
things
will. He
in
will.
your life to
He will.
confound the wise and get you to where it is He needs you to go. And so for 21 years, you have done. So how many times have you said, I'm quitting?
The last time that I said I was quitting was in 2023. I was working with my business coach, and I we had our private meeting because she was my private coach at the time. And I went to my session and I said, I just want to let you know that I'm done with entrepreneurship. She said, oh really? I said, yeah, I'm done. I'm about to find me a job. She's like, well, what's going on? Because I was a full-time entrepreneur at that time. I had been a full-time entrepreneur for 3 years. I said, I don't have money. I'm tired of not having money. I'm not, the clients aren't paying me the way they should pay me, and I'm just done. And she said, how much money do you need? I said, I need $2,000. She said, okay, well, what can you do to generate $2,000? I said, I just told you I'm done with entrepreneurship. Like, what do you mean? What can I do?
$2,000 a month or $2,000?
I just, in that moment, I just needed $2,000.
Okay,
And
okay,
how much money do you need? I said $2,000. And she said, well,
yes,
your business, what do you sell that, that's lucrative? I said, my anthologies. She said, well, when you get off this call, I want you to go announce that you're doing an anthology. I said, that's not how I do it. I'm not going to go announce. I mean, I usually have planned and I think behind.
yes.
She said, when you get off this call, go live and let the people know that you are doing another anthology. And I'm like, I just told this woman I quit.
Yes.
QIT. She gives me an assignment. I go and do it, Dr. Alicia. And lo and behold, I made that $2,000.
Come on.
God used my coach because I
Yes.
was done. I was like, I'm so over it. And that was by far the largest anthology. Well, it was the most profitable anthology that I had done after quitting.
What she did for you is the book that I just finished writing. It's a download. It's what's in your hand. So often we do not use what's in our hand and we let that oil that is sitting there. From the book of Second Kings, chapter 4, the widow woman said she has absolutely nothing in her house when she was asked what she has. Then, as an afterthought, she said, I have a small cruse of oil. Elisha gave her 5 instructions. That's what my book is about. 5 instructions about how to go out and get rid of the debt that she had, and how they would not come and take her sons, by her just realizing what she had in her house. And that's what your coach did to you. And that's what coaches are for. Coaches are to make you step out. I love being a vision coach. Yesterday, I was doing what was called a business check-in for Christian women. They were in a room, and I was teaching them on the value of a digital product. And all of a sudden, I said, each of you that will pay me $25 today, you can get a call, a Zoom with me today, and I'll help you create a digital product today. I had 5 women that paid me that $25. I had 5 calls yesterday. So it's what's in your hand.
Right.
And you used what was in your hand. What did you last say to me? It was your most profitable
Yes.
one that you did. And it's because you recognized what is in your hand. So when is your next anthology?
Oh, no, you did not ask me that.
Yeah, I did.
So I'm thinking about doing one, and probably before the end of the year, and recruiting before the end of the year. But I'm
Okay.
not committed yet. But I'm toying with the idea, because I'm toying with it because I
Okay.
actually love producing the anthologies. I love working with the co-authors. This one may be a little bit different, and so I would like to really produce one a year. So I am toying with that. So it may be coming soon.
Well, we're going to speak off of this because, as you just said, that as a vision coach, God just gave me a brainstorm bomb that I'm going to drop on you. So let's keep going with this interview today. So you've been an entrepreneur for over 21 years. You are in this space now where your husband, and I want to talk about this for a little bit, where your husband is totally with you on what it is you've been called to do. Because there are women in these spaces whose husbands do not support what it is that they're called to do, and they make it difficult. So tell us, having your spouse to be a part and to support you, how valuable is that for you?
It is priceless, right? So I call my husband, I call him King G, but he is my divine mate. He's my partner. He fills the gaps on where I fall short because I'm so focused on business. He makes sure that I have family time. He makes sure that we're checking in with the kids. He makes sure that I'm eating, like all of the things. And then what I love about him, when I get in my moments of frustration and discouragement, but like, babe, you know what? It's over. I don't want to do it. I said, what do you think I should do? He said, what did you go to God? He said, what did God say? I'm like, look at you. What did God say? I love it. Because even he doesn't allow me to get in my own way. He will immediately say, what did God say? Did you go?
Say that is priceless, because there's so many women that struggle with not having someone to really be there in their corner in the bad days and will agree with their negativity. But when you have someone that's seen you going down that place and say, come on back here. We're not doing that. I see you. I know who you are, and I know who you are called to be. So let's stay focused. Let's stay on the course. I will do the other stuff. You do what you're called to do. I love it. And I want to say to women out there, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged when they do not agree with you. Guess what? God didn't give them your vision, He gave it to you. Amen. I just wanted to add that in there. So I want to ask you a couple more questions before I give you a few minutes that I want you to just talk about stand up. I saw you on a live. I'm telling you, I'm your stalker. This is my 3rd year of stalking you, and I finally said, she's coming on my show. You were outside, and you were doing some days, and it was called Self-Discipline Journey.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So for the month of August, I decided that I was going to get out of my own way and I wasn't going to make any more excuses. And so I got a book. I've read this book before, but it's called The Power of Self Discipline No
Okay.
Excuses by Brian Tracy. And I said,
Okay.
what? For all of the days in August, I'm going to exercise discipline by going live and sharing my self discipline journey. And for me, that's, staying off the sugar, the juice, and just doing something consistently without making excuses. And that was the whole point of the self discipline journey, and to document that live on Facebook, because I know many of my clients are on my Facebook page. Many prospects are on my Facebook page. And so I want to model for them what it looks like when you attempt to do something consistently and you attempt to exercise discipline. And I'm also was teaching around the reality is we do what we want, right?
Mhm.
And we don't do what we don't want to do. And so if we eliminate the excuses, we can become more accountable and more responsible for our life experience and for the actions that we take or don't take. And so there were a couple of days when I didn't go live, and it was for no other reason than I didn't want to do it. It wasn't about I didn't feel well. I just didn't want to do it. Nothing was stopping me from going live. I didn't want to do it. And again, it's about us being brutally honest with ourselves. Like at the end of the day, if we're not satisfied with our life experience, then we need to do something different about it, or just accept it and
Yes.
learn to be content with it. But if we're not
Yes.
content, then we do different actions, we get committed, and we exercise discipline. And that's how you achieve success, is we discipline ourselves to forego instant gratification, and we do what is required until we achieve whatever that goal is, whatever people's individual success is. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just documenting that. And
Hmm.
um, will I go live today? I probably will. But the days I didn't, I owned it. I went on to people and I said, I'm not even going to give you an excuse. I didn't want to do it. Like, you see how easy you wrap that up? I did not
Yeah.
want.
Right. Choices, making choices. Listen, you are watching Around the Table. This is a place for coaches, speakers, authors, women entrepreneurs, and small business owners. I am your host. I'm Dr. Apostle Alicia George, and I am excited tonight. My guest is the Ardenae Gardner, who is the founder of Stand Up, and she is getting ready to have an event October 3rd through the 5th. I am going to ask her one more question, and then I am going to give her a space to just reiterate about what stand up is and invite you to come on down to North Carolina and join her. Listen, this is my last question for you. When I go on your page and I open your page, I see this. I help visionary leaders to write their transformational life story in 90 days or less. Tell us about that and how effective this has been to people's lives.
So that is when I am working with visionary leaders who want to share their story in one of the stand up anthologies. And we work together in 90 days to produce your 3,000 word chapter. And the stories that we're looking for are always around resilience, overcoming adversity,
Mhm.
maybe forgiveness, um, learning how to re love yourself, or reconciliation. Um, and we work together for you to get that story out, because I believe, and my methodology is the right to heal. And so,
Eh,
people who write, you can usually have a cathartic experience, and
mhm.
that methodology to help you write to heal, which is why we call it your transformational life story.
Yes.
And
Awesome.
done. It doesn't even take 90 days. If we're honest,
Or
again,
less.
it goes back to when you really sit down to do it. I've had authors write their story in 2 hours. Some have done it in two. Some have done it in 4 hours. It's just when you really sit down to write it, it doesn't typically take 90 days, but 90 days is the start of our process from beginning to end.
To the end. Okay, got it. Well, Audrey, listen, you have been just absolutely awesome in this space tonight on Around the Table. I'm very, very excited of this upcoming. Is there a virtual component to it?
No, there isn't a virtual component. I know some people have asked about it, but Dr. Alicia, I have to say that there's something about being in the room,
There.
presence, and in the energy
Yes.
of
Yes.
when we are focused for 3 whole days on restoration, renewal, rejuvenation. That can't be, you just cannot get that through the virtual experience. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a successful transformational virtual conference, but the type of conference that this is, it has to be in person. And let me just say, I did ask God, could this be virtual in 2025? And the answer is no.
As long as you're obedient to him, I was just being selfish. But as long as you're being obedient to him, now I want to do this. I'm going to come off the stage and I'm going to give you a minute so that you have the opportunity to speak about your conference and invite people to come on down to North Carolina. So go right ahead.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Alicia, to have this intimate time with your audience. Listen, I invite you all to meet me in Charlotte, October 3rd through the 5th at the third Stand Up Authors Revival and Awards Conference. It's happening right, it's going to be transformational. You're going to connect with over 20 speakers. There's over 20 workshops, plus a black tie awards ceremony and a pitch conference. And listen, we have champions in the room, okay? And I mean literal champions, Olympists that will be in the room. We have people coming from all over the US to pour into us, and you need to be there. The ticket prices are as low as $197, and they go all the way up to, I think, $1497. So there is something for everybody's budget. And at the end of the day, if you know you need to be there, I'm always open to somebody reaching out to me directly and say, let's make a deal. Like, it's that type of conference. If you feel you need to be in the room, and there's no limitations. Like I said earlier, people do what they want to do. We invest in what we want to invest in. We spend our money on what we want to spend our money on. And so if you are looking for community, if you are looking for partnership, if you are looking for resources, or if you are looking to collaborate, if you are looking to really take yourself and your life and your business and your books to the next level, then you need to be at the only, hear this now, the only nonfiction authors. You need to be in the room. You can reach me at Ardenae Garner. You can reach me at ardenae@ardenaegarner.com. You can find me on Facebook under Ardenae Garner. I would love to connect with you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so very much. Once again, it has been my privilege to have you here with me this evening. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for saying yes. And listen, you all need to go to the conference. Where is it exactly?
It's in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Embassy Suites by Hilton. And we have a phenomenal design team, and it's a prophetess. We have apostles that are praying for you to get what you need at this 3-day conference.
Awesome. Well, Audrey, once again, thank you so much for being here with me tonight on Around the Table. I look forward to one day attending the conference and being personally there. But for right now, listen, everyone, as my cousin Lorraine always says, have a great day today and a better one tomorrow. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Pull up your seat and come to Around the Table. God bless you.